Welcome to Discover College Soccer. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Coach Daniel Hott from WVU, Potomac State College in West Virginia. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you taking the time to be here with me.
Yeah, thank you. And the funny thing was, we randomly bumped into each other at a pizza place in Philly at the convention, knowing that this interview was coming,
Mhm.
and I'm still blaming you for why I'm tired 2 weeks after the convention.
Yeah.
Staying up late trying to solve all the soccer problems of the world that we were doing. But anyway, it's great to have you on. Interested to hear about WVU, Potomac State. I think there's a lot of folks obviously not familiar. They know WVU and the Mountaineers,
Mhm.
but let's talk a little bit more about the school. So you guys are technically NJCAA, is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, we are a NJCAA like program, like you said. We compete in the Region 20, so it's consistently one of the most competitive regions within junior college soccer. Constantly sending people to the national tournament. So we are in the progress of trying to get our guys there, not only our guys but also our women.
Yeah, no, and I know that region pretty well just from being in DC, 'cause it's a lot of the Maryland schools, and you guys are like right on the border with Maryland,
Yep.
with your location. So I know junior college is tough because you got to recruit twice as much as the four-year schools. So in terms of your recruiting going on right now, it's showcase season. So where are you guys spending your time? Are you uh, hitting those tournaments hot and heavy, or what's that looking like for you?
Yeah, so we're planning to hit a couple tournaments here coming up. The problem is we kind of have a small staff, and by small staff we have myself, which is the assistant coach for both the men's and the women's teams, and we also have our head coach, who's the head coach for both the men's and the women's teams. So we're dual threatening here. We're trying to do as much as we can. We're planning on heading to a tournament up in Potomac, Maryland, down at Soccerplex. There's a Penn Fusion tournament coming up here in February as well. Just a few that we're trying to hit to continue to increase our numbers here.
So, and I think that's maybe one misconception about junior colleges. Yes, they're usually state driven,
Mm.
um, but you guys recruit outside of West Virginia and even internationally, right?
Yes, yeah, we had on the men's team alone. I think we had 9 international recruits this past season, which was really awesome. I think international students kind of get the short end of the stick, I would say sometimes, and just are overlooked. But for junior colleges, they're perfect fits. We try and bring those guys in, those girls in, and really show our local guys and girls that we may have different cultures that are around the world, and I think it's beneficial for them.
Sure. Well, in terms of the, a lot of people look at junior college as a way to be a stepping stone onto the next level. Uh,
Mhm.
eh, Is that what a lot of your players are looking for, that opportunity to continue to go on and play after their 2 years with you guys? And what does that look like for them?
I think it goes one of two ways. You're either coming to play collegiate soccer to see if it's something you want to feel out, or it's something that you are coming in to prove that you can play at the collegiate level, trying to go to a 4 year. I mean, this past season, we're very lucky enough to have, I guess we'll call it lucky, a lot of colleges surrounding us. A lot of 4 years, whether it's Division 2, Division 3. We have 2 junior colleges also around us. So there's always colleges that are looking for both guys and girls to, that have that college experience and are ready to play at the next level. So I'd say we have 2 guys that I know of are playing hopefully at a D2 school near us, excuse me. And then we were fortunate enough to send a guy pro. So it's pretty crazy. It's been a whirlwind of a first year, I'll say that, but we're finally getting things in motion and we're happy where we're at.
It's good to hear. Well, and a lot of the four-year schools camps have become a really big part of their recruiting process. Is that held true for you guys even at the junior college level?
Yeah, I think it does. So little background, I got here in September. So it was kind of quick process, I would say. My first day on campus was the women's first game, so I had a lot of learning to do. But we were able to get things in motion. We had a fall ID camp, which was a great success. Honestly, it was something that we are looking to continue to do, especially here in the spring. So we will be having another ID camp here in the spring for both the men's and the women's teams. I think ID camps get a bad rap a lot of times, and it's unfortunate. A lot of schools kind of make it a moneymaker, a fundraiser, I guess I would say, and that's something that we don't want to do. We want to give not only local guys but out of state or out of country the opportunity to just come see what a typical day is like as a student here at Potomac State. So we're definitely looking to do another one here in the spring.
Well, with either a camp or you're going to the Potomac tournament, Penn Fusion, any place you're looking at players, what is it that you are really looking for and that makes a player somebody that you want to talk to and make that offer to?
Yeah. Really, and it's funny you ask. We've done a few Zoom calls of recent. Like you said, we do a lot of international, so we do what we can and do Zoom calls. So in that perspective, we kind of look to see if they're engaged, if they're kind of just going through the motions, just listening to what we have to say, not really asking any questions. We'll really see if you're interested or not. I had one the other day where we had a potential athlete and his mother both on the screen, and I could tell that they had a great relationship and they were engaged in asking questions. And it was something that I felt really joyful of, just because I could tell that they were interested and I could tell that they wanted to know more. And his mom wanted to make sure he was going to be okay being here. And that's something that's important to me. I like to create a family environment, somewhere where parents are going to know that if they come here, they're going to be safe. So going to tournaments or camps or anything along those lines, just watching how a player holds themselves up. If they are going through a legitimate warm up, if they are engaging with other teammates, or if they are, you know, getting themselves right in the mental state just to go out there and perform. That's something that's really important for me. Obviously, we're looking at the tactical, the technical sides of things. Can they listen to their coach? Are they coachable? Are they playing their position right? All those sorts of things that all kind of tie together that any college is looking for, we're also looking for it here.
Okay. Well, one thing about junior college that should be attractive to a lot of folks is the fact that it's usually a lot cheaper than a four-year option. So, I'm not holding you to hard numbers here, but can you just give me an idea of what a student athlete walking in as a player is going to be looking at, both whether they're in state, out of state? What does the academic or athletic scholarships look like? Is there academic scholarships? Just give me an overall viewpoint of the finances.
Yeah, so I'm not too worried about giving hard numbers or anything like that. Normally, we tell our recruits to be prepared anywhere between 12 and 15,000. We do offer merit-based scholarship. We also have some athletic scholarship that we can offer, and I say some because everyone wants a little bit more, but unfortunately, we can't give it. But that number I gave that's room and board. That even includes some books that you might need. So it's not as scary as some may think, which is very, very nice. And in-state students, that's even cheaper than the number I just gave you. Obviously, just being a in-state school, but there's plenty of opportunity for scholarship, for trying to get that price lower. It's just the price range we kind of give people just so they can have that understanding of what they're looking to get into.
Okay. Well, can you tell me what the relationship is between Potomac State and Morgantown? Like, but being like the branch campus, what is the relationship there? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a no thing?
Yeah,
What is that like?
it's definitely a big thing for sure. So we're a regional campus of West Virginia University. So our classes, everything we do is on par with main campus. So it's a great opportunity. We like to say that we are on par with main campus and we can offer that big college experience within a little town. So it's a great opportunity to say that, you are taking the same classes that you would be taking at main campus for a cheaper price, and also getting to play collegiate soccer that you might not have the opportunity to do at main campus.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about campus and the school there in Kaiser, West Virginia,
Mhm.
I believe.
Yes, yes.
Uh, and like we said, you're right on the river, right over the border from Maryland.
Mhm.
But besides location, can you give me some things that make going to Potomac State attractive and what makes the school unique?
Yeah, I'd say I'm definitely a little bit biased. I grew up about 30 minutes from here, so it's an easy drive home to see the parents all the time. I know the area very well. There's many different things that you can do, whether it's, you want to go out on a boat in the summer, or if you want to go snowing or skiing in the winter. There's plenty of opportunities to do things within a 30 to 45-minute reach. Even in town, there's a lot of opportunities. We're surrounded by local high schools. Off the top of my head, I could probably think of 10 at least, that if you want to go catch a game or see how local soccer is here, there's plenty of opportunity to do it. Like I said, I'm a bit biased. I'm a mountains guy myself. It's, you walk on campus here and you're surrounded by them. It's a beautiful thing. Where our soccer field is here on campus, we're in between the softball and baseball field, and overlooking it is just mountains and windmills. So it's an awesome environment to really put yourself in, and it's something that I can't encourage people enough to look at, for the sole reason of, some people are used to big city life. I'm not a big city life person myself. So going to, we'll say the Pittsburgh area or the DC area, and seeing what that city life is like just always drew me back to the mountains. So it's great to be here. I would encourage anyone to come check it out. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Well, in terms of the school itself and what kids go through both academically and athletically. Can you walk me through a typical day for a student athlete during the season? Like when do they go into class, meals, practice, what the game cadence looks like, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So I'd say it's unique for a junior college. Myself and our head coach, we are full-time employees here. We're here on campus 24/7. I'm here 24/7. I'm a part of my job is I'm a housing director. So I oversee one of our dorms here on campus. It happens to be our biggest one. I kind of describe it as like a hotel. So it's nice that I'm here. I'm very accessible to our athletes, to our students, so it's definitely a benefit. But looking towards a normal day, kids are waking up, going to class from anywhere between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Some classes are a little bit in the later evenings, probably labs, those sorts of things, maybe in the 4 or 5 range. Um, our 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 school works with us very well, in terms of making sure both our men's and women's teams can get to training, gets to games, all those sorts of things. So getting to class during the day, our normal practice time, and it's very nice. We're the only two teams in the fall, the men's and the women's, that uses our practice and game facility. So we're not competing for time. So normally our practice times are anywhere from 3 to 5, 5 to 7, just depending on whether the men's or the women's teams goes first that day. Really, it's, you're going to have a majority of the evenings off to, be a college student, get your academics where they need to be, hang out with friends, do whatever you want to do to make sure you're feeling comfortable here on campus. It's we kind of give our players the trust and the freedom to make the right decisions and do the good things, just because ultimately, with my job as a housing coordinator, if something is to happen, their name's coming to my desk that next morning. So it's a pretty normal day, I would say. Since I've been here, we've been able to implement some great things. We're implementing some new lifting material, getting our guys and girls in the gym, and really just trying to get them fit and prepared for a long and busy season.
Well, let's talk more about that long and busy season and talk about the soccer side. For both teams, is there a roster size that you are trying to hit that you guys find is ideal?
Yeah. So, uh, not many people know this, I would say, but both our men's and women's teams were dormant in the 2018 season. So we've been in a bit of a rebuild, I'd say. But since our head coach has been here, he's been able to take care of the women's and get them back on track. This is our first year together with the men's team. So they are right where we need them to be as well. So normally I would say we like to keep our numbers around the 26 to 28 range. Normally our both teams are traveling together, so we like to travel everyone. I don't want someone to come here and their experience be wasted by being on a JV program or a development program, anything along those lines. Our athletic director works with us very well. She's an awesome person. She makes sure that, our athletes are engaged and are getting the time they need to be successful. So it's been great. She doesn't set a number for us that we need to get. She kind of puts our trust in us and knowing what we need as coaches.
That's great. Well, in terms of your style of coaching, both you and the head coach, what does that look like? Your team, but is there a particular style of play that you're trying to implement? Is it different from on the boys' side and the girls' side?
Mhm. Yeah, I think it really ranges. This year for the women's, we had a shorter roster than we would have liked. So we had to play a little bit different style, I would say. We ended up playing a 3-5-2 for the women this year, which is a little bit different. But we had three strong center backs that we could believe could do very well for us. And we found that, it's better for us to be more attack minded and rather than just trying to win 1-0 or just fighting to the end. We want to be able to put balls in the back of the net. Ultimately, whoever does that is going to win the game. On the men's side, I think we play a more typical system of style of play. It's a 4-3-3. We love a high pressing game. Like I said, it's the same thing with the women's side. We don't want to sit back. We want teams to play to our style of play. We don't want to change our game plan based off teams. So very high pressing, very we tell our guys to be very ball control oriented. We want to be possession based, getting our outside backs high and wide, just doing all the little things necessary to be successful. And that's something that we really preach here is, we got guys and girls coming from all over the world, all different types of play styles. All we preach is the little things. If you do the little things right, we're ultimately going to be successful in the long run.
No, I love that. Well, we're talking here in January. It's the off season. Um, depending on which level of coach you talk to, they're always lamenting about the regulations around off season training and how little it is. But so, can you tell us what the junior college off season program looks like and what you guys will be doing between now and the fall?
Yeah, for sure. So it's honestly, for me coming from a D3 program to now coaching at a JUCO, it's very different. And I'll say that, and it's very different in a good way. So we have a 90-day window where we can train up to 60 times and play. We have 4 play dates. So it's honestly a decent amount of time that we can be with both teams and making sure that they're ready for the upcoming season. Ultimately, like we know, it doesn't count for anything, but it's very, very beneficial to get those touches on the ball and getting prepared for that upcoming season. During the season, we play anywhere up to 2 to 3 games a week. And that's something that's not very ideal because we struggle to run a legitimate training session because of overload. So it's something that we take very, very serious in the spring and in our early fall preseason because that's when we're implementing our style of play, how we want our guys and girls to carry themselves, all those little things that we consistently preach about.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, Coach, you've been very generous with your time. We've covered a lot of ground, and I always like to end these with what didn't we cover? What is it that you want folks to know, whether it's about the college recruiting process, about your school in particular, or anything else? I leave you with the last word.
Yeah. So, I think something I definitely didn't mention was, the experience of our head coach. He's got over 30 years of head coaching experience. So I like to call him the vet of the program. It's kind of our running joke just because I'm a bit of a younger guy. So something we consistently tell the recruits is that, you're getting a guy with 30 plus years of coaching experience, as well as myself, who's coming off of his first season as a college coach. So you're getting not only the veteran experience, but also the youthful energy that we can bring to a program. And I think we could see the difference this past season. And we're looking forward to see where we go in this upcoming year. I think we have a lot of good pieces coming in, and that we will hopefully continue to be very successful and build off the year that we had last year. I would encourage anyone that is looking to play at the next level to not overlook the junior college process. It was something that I unfortunately did when I was coming through my recruiting process, but there's endless benefits. If I'm being honest, you get to go to one program and not only be coached under a coaching staff, but building a network of friends. After you've done your 2 years here, you're doing the same thing at another program. So you're leaving with double the experience of being a soccer player and double the experience of just being a student and being a person, and not only growing in life, but growing in friendships, growing in, you know, your overall mentality that's going to carry you through the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Great words. Well, Coach, really appreciate it. Wish you the best of luck and continued success on building up both programs. And hopefully, if you're down in Florida trying to nab some players, we'll meet up again, and it won't be till January of the next convention, right?
We'll see. I'm hoping to get some warm weather up this way, so I might have to take a little trip down there.
There you go. All right, Coach. Take care.
Thanks. You too.